I'm so annoyed I'm sitting in front of the pumpkin because this is like my new favourite pillow for Halloween. And I'm blocking like the whole thing. It was stupidly expensive. I at least wanted to show it off once. Hey guys, so, okay, got to address the elephant in the room. I'm really sorry I've been away for a really long time. I have been so uninspired. Normally when I'm uninspired it's because I'm depressed. Whereas this time, I've just been enjoying chilling out and reading. It's been a nice change. I appreciate that a lot of you, if not all of you, have stick around. Thank you for giving me some space to create when I want to create rather than feeling like I have to push out content every single week to stay relevant. So thank you for those that are still here. I'm so out of the game I forgot to put my microphone on my fucking camera. So if that audio was shit, at least I realised before we actually got into the video. Okay, so today I want to go through and react. I mean, I've seen this video a number of times because I used to watch Mr. GG quite a lot. I've watched CinnamonToastKen's reactions, but there are certain things that I feel like people gloss over in these TCAP videos. So TCAP is To Catch a Predator. This is actually from the Hansen versus Predator series. Same difference, just by a different name. And I want to go through Jeff Sokol's full video because, like I say, there's things that people gloss over that I really want to highlight. And let's be honest, bringing more attention to pedophiles on a platform is always good news because they're still fucking out there for the most part. Some of them have died. Karma. I'm also going to go through some of what happened after Hansen vs Predator. I'll see if there's also, I think there's some stuff possibly before, because some of these people have records before they even go into the house and get caught. So Jeff Sokol, he tried to change his name, but it was denied because obviously that would affect the sex offender registry. So he wasn't allowed to do that. But before he gets caught by Hansen vs Predator, he was divorced for 10 years, obsessed with sports, becoming depressed after not being able to find a job in sports management. Okay. The reason mentioning that part is the fact that I've watched quite a lot of CinnamonToastKen videos over the past like day or two. And something I noticed a lot was predators turning around and saying, oh, the reason I did this is because I'm just lonely, or I'm depressed, or I can't find a job, or my wife doesn't give me attention, or some bullshit. That's not why you became a predator. Mental health, loneliness, attention-seeking behaviour does not cause you to be attracted to underage people. Period. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Like, you definitely have a mental health issue, but it's not caused from depression or anything else. Some other people have also used PTSD as a fucking excuse. Fuck off. That is not what made you a fucking predator to people underage. He groomed what he thought was a 13-year-old girl named Bailey online. So, now we're going to the Hansen vs Predator. Oh my god, these ads. Does anyone else mute ads because they just cannot, with their ADHD, bear to listen to them?
It's Saturday night in the Connecticut suburbs. Autumn is in the air. And this guy is bringing pizza to the door. Jeff Sokol is no pizza delivery man.
Can we just talk about the selfie? Like, I've talked about this in the past. Can men just learn how to take good selfies? The amount of men that take them like this, so all you're looking at is up their nostrils or dead eyes or group photos. And in this case, I feel like it's even worse. I don't know if it's the face he's pulling, like the body language. Knowing how this interview goes, actually this photo screams narcissist.
Cops say he's here to meet a 13-year-old girl.
He's 44 years old, looking to meet a 13-year-old. Someone 30 years younger. Really let that fucking sink in. I cannot imagine being 33 and being attracted to anyone even under the age of, I don't know, even 23, 22. Even that's very young. But thinking about someone as a teenager between the ages of 12 to 18 even, they're children. They are literally children. They're not adults, they're children. And being attracted to them means you have fucking something mentally wrong with you. Unless you're of the same age group, obviously. If you're anywhere over 19 fucking years old, I would say, and finding anyone under the age of 16 at the very least attractive, go get help. Because it is gross.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
The squeak on that fucking door. That would drive me insane. How someone didn't break out the WD-40, I don't know.
No, because it's really dark out. Hey Johnny, this door's like really squeaky, dude. You got like some WD-40?
How much is WD-40?
It's pretty cheap. It's like $5.
Yeah, it's not in the budget.
It's not long before Sokol contacts our decoy, we'll call her Bailey, and the chat gets a little raunchy.
Some of the chats of these pedophiles, I'm so glad they're not speaking to a child, because some of the earlier series in the actual TCAP said things like, I want to drink your blood, I want to like urinate on you, and really graphic stuff. I'm really glad they were not talking to someone underage, but I don't know how these police officers can just listen to that and have to react to it every day. It must be so incredibly draining on their mental health.
Are you a virgin? LOL, yeah, that is personal.
They all want fucking virgins. You know why they all want virgins? Don't want anyone with the experience, because then they'll know, first of all, they're shit in bed. And secondly, they want someone who's easy to manipulate. That is very, very important, because I mentioned something in a comment actually on this video, which I will get into at the point, but people don't realise these very small manipulations by predators are manipulations.
No, I was with my boyfriend once. I really want to be intimate with you.
I want to be intimate with you. I cannot imagine saying that to someone underage. I really can't.
And turns the conversation very personal, asking questions no adult should ever ask a 13-year-old. Do you trim your blank? LOL, yeah.
There was one predator who wanted to shave the underage girl's private parts. I'm not going to say it. Again, just even asking about this stuff, like, Jesus, to an underage kid. Like, I keep saying that because I just cannot imagine how you can talk to someone underage like this. The only thing I can think of is that treat them as if they're of age, like if they're talking to someone the same age as them.
Do you think blank size matters? Nope, X was decent. I'm not that big, but I know how to satisfy a girl.
This is something I actually really do find funny about this video. The fact that he admits that he's not that big and that half of the time it doesn't even fucking work. Now it's all over the internet. Normally I wouldn't laugh about the size of someone's dick, or the fact that they can't get it up. I think that erectile dysfunction and even stress and people getting older and things like that, like, things happen. It's not a big deal. I've talked about this before in a video I'll link here. Partners should be understanding of stuff like that. The reason I'm laughing about it here is because he's a fucking predator. When you are literally caught trying to solicit photos, pornography, or trying to actually do the act with an underage person, I feel like you just need to be, like, sterilised, because there is no fix for it.
Sokol seems to be worried that Bailey might be an undercover cop, so he asks for a custom pic to prove she's real. Take a selfie holding up 4 fingers below your face, then I would know it's really you.
He thinks he's so smart. Police are smart.
My fear is that it's not you, that it's someone in law enforcement looking to nail someone.
So he knows he's doing wrong. These are all really, really important to what's going to come later, because the interview part, you want to just smack this guy in the face.
As a 44-year-old guy, I shouldn't be talking to 13-year-old girls like this.
Then why are you, if you're not a disgusting predator, why are you talking to a 13-year-old girl at 44 years of age who is not related to you? I mean, you shouldn't be talking to anyone who is related to you like this, who's underage, obviously, but what I'm saying is a 44-year-old person, obviously if they're a parent or an uncle or something like that, I get it. Obviously we're talking about something very, very different.
You know, I could be put in jail if the police found out we were in.
And you were.
Well, tonight, intimacy is not on the menu. In fact, dinner is delayed. Sokol is late because he says his pipes sprung a leak.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
He thinks he's calling Bailey to tell her he's late, but he's actually speaking to Lori from Tetrad in our virtual control room.
Did your plumber get there yet?
It's late.
So, again, this is something that a lot of people gloss over, but I really want to, like, hit home the point that he set up this whole date or whatever. He had to wait for a plumber, so he had all of that time while he was waiting for the plumber to back out of this. He then drives for about, I want to say, 3 hours or something, and doesn't for a second consider, this is really wrong, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm going to turn around and go home. Just carries on. All of that time to consider not doing this, but carried on doing it. That's what tells you he knew what he was doing was wrong anyway. He's admitted that. but he carried on doing it. Had hours to consider not to. Hours.
He picks up a pizza and asks Bailey about what to wash it down with. You got booze? My mom has some vodka, but no rum.
Wanting the underage girl to be drinking alcohol. Like, a lot of people think alcohol's like a social lubricant. At that age, it's a way to manipulate someone who's underage, a way to control as well. A lot of people just gloss over that.
Sokol arrives at the house. Our on-site decoy, a 19-year-old theater student, lets him in the door.
That's a long drive.
This is the bit that I talked about in this comment that I'm going to really get into.
Yeah. Alright.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Oh, you gonna give me a hug?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll settle into it.
Okay.
So,
This piece of shit, and it's not the only one, there's so many of these predators that want to go in for a hug immediately, and there was actually one that did actually hug her. A lot of them go in for hugs, and the majority of them try and swerve, like try and get around a table, create the distance again from them, which they do very, very well. The thing that pisses me off about this is that he asks, "Are you okay?"
Are you okay?
And then when he starts to take his jacket off, he turns around and appears irritated and annoyed that he had to wait all this time to get into his car to drive 3 hours to get there, and she won't even hug him after all of that.
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I am. I'm fine.
You can tell by the intonation in the way he says, "Yeah, I'm fine," that he's frustrated at the very least. Like I said, probably irritated, annoyed. The reason he's annoyed and irritated is because in his mind, I guarantee what he's thinking is, if she's not going to let me hug her, she's not going to let me kiss her, touch her, or do anything else that we talked about. So what was the point of me driving 3 fucking hours? That is what he's thinking. And the fact that there was people defending him in the comment when I mentioned that, saying like, I think they actually deleted their comment. Yeah, so someone said, he did sound kind of concerned. And someone said, well, he was concerned about her not willing to do stuff with him. This isn't concerned for her well-being. Yeah, there was another person that definitely deleted their comment because somebody else called Aquatic Deep. They were trying to defend him, saying like, oh my god, basically you're reading too much into it. And someone, and I think this is perfectly said, this is just manipulation. He wants to give the child a sense of security so he could gain her trust. Perhaps you are young and don't know better, which is understandable, but no amount of questions like, are you okay, will ever justify what he was trying to do to her. A thing like that scars a person for life. Is absolutely fucking disgusting. So let's not romanticize what he is doing. Like I said, I don't have the original comment. They've clearly deleted it or deleted their profile. There's another person as well who seems to have deleted their comment because someone said, the situation and context changes. Don't you realise that saying, are you okay, and showing concern for a consenting adult is not the same thing as saying, are you okay, to an underage teen before you try to have sex with her.
I've just never done this before.
I know.
Have you?
No, not really.
Not really, meaning he likely had at the very least spoken to underage people or been inappropriate.
I mean,
Are you telling me the truth?
I've met girls online, but I don't like come like this far to like meet someone. I don't know why
It's kind of crazy, huh?
It is crazy. Yeah, why did you let me come? If you're so nervous.
Like, he admits what I assumed his inclination was from his frustration and irritation around her not wanting to hug him.
Why do you think I came?
Everyone knows why you came.
I think I know.
It's not the only reason. It's not the reason.
What's the reason?
It's not the only reason, meaning it was at least, at the very least, part of the reason.
And I just...
By the way, half the time they rescue this girl from talking to the predator within about 2 minutes, if that. They leave her out there chatting to fucking Jeff Sokol for a while. I don't know why.
Been talking to you for a while, and you seem like really cool to hang out with, and someone that I'd like to meet. And
Like, rescue her. There's a predator in the fucking room.
wanted to check out the situation,
Well, here we are.
I will say it's quite funny. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments while he's chatting. Oh, I can't find it now, but there is one. Oh, it might be in a different video, actually. It might be in one of CinnamonToastKen's comment section, but I remember someone saying like, oh, this 19-year-old theatre student who could easily pass for a 13-year-old, and then being like, her boyfriend sweats nervously.
Let's deal with this whole contract thing, because I'm just going to be thinking about it the whole time until we get that out of the way.
In a text that will turn your stomach, Sokol talks about a marriage contract and even suggests they elope. The only thing that can prevent me from getting arrested is if we got married, LOL. If you were married to me right now, then I wouldn't be breaking the law.
Okay, so the contract thing that she's mentioning is the fact that he mentioned in the messages, basically, between them, that if they got married, they would be able to have sex and he wouldn't get in trouble for it. Just shows, again, intent. This just gives me Onision vibes. Looking up the laws around getting around grooming underage people. You know you fucked up.
I mean, you look great.
Thanks.
You just look different than what than like in the pictures. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I expected you to have dark hair. Did you?
My hair it lightens up in the summer.
And no, I'm not saying. I mean, I think you look
You don't
great.
like it?
I think you look great. I'm just saying, like you look different.
She played that off well. Here we go.
What's that?
I have no idea. Do you want me to check?
Somebody here.
No.
What kind of pizza we have tonight? Who's this? I'll get to that in a minute. Who are you?
I will say, they've literally made a South Park skit about it. He's already sat down, but the amount of predators that won't come in for the decoy, but will come in the second that Chris Hansen says, come in, take a seat.
That's it. Goodbye.
Why don't you take a seat?
Oh, I don't want to take a seat.
Have a seat.
No, I'm just gonna go.
Take a seat right over there.
And I have a theory around that. I think it's because, well, first of all, they prey on people who are underage. And I think the reason they do that is because, obviously, they want someone they're able to control. I think the reason they immediately sit down whenever Chris says, take a seat, is because they're not used to someone in a position of power telling them what to do. And therefore, they immediately oblige. Unfortunately, he didn't have to take a seat because he was already sitting.
Who are you?
You tell me first. You're Jeff, right?
Yeah.
And what are you doing here tonight, Jeff?
Hanging out
Hanging out with whom?
with her.
Who's her?
I want to know who you are.
I want to know a little bit more about you first.
Can I eat first?
Sure, go ahead.
He's so relaxed in this interview, it makes me mad.
He's so relaxed and convinced of his innocence, he eats a slice of pizza.
Tell me who you are, because, you know, I didn't know there would be other people here.
Literally so relaxed, he just sits there and starts eating pizza while he's been caught talking to a 13-year-old fucking kid. Complete narcissist. What is the traits of a narcissist? Sense of self-importance, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success, entitled, can only be around people who are important or special, interpersonally exploitative for their own gain, arrogant, lack empathy, must be admired, envious of others or believe that others are envious of them. I feel like at the very least, self-important, power, entitled, arrogant, exploitative for their own gain, admired, lack of empathy, like a lot of predators completely overlook is the fact that the majority of these predators are like, oh my god, I'm the victim here because da-da-da-da, whatever the excuse, because of their PTSD or the depression, or, oh, she told me to come here, so I'm just doing what I'm told or whatever. But they have no empathy for the fact that if this was genuinely a 13-year-old fucking kid, they've just ruined that kid's life. That is what you are doing when you exploit a child in any way. But to do it in a sexual way, that's why no one's sad about what happened to Ian Watkins recently, let's just be honest. I think it took way too long. Karma got to him, but at the very least, some inmates got to him. By the way, the reason I've started with Jeff's fucking Sokol, because I might do more of these, because there's a lot more. So if you enjoy this, make sure to give it a like, and I will do more of these. But the reason I fucking hate Jeff Sokol is that he's one of these predators, and he is one of the worst. Like I say, so relaxed that he's just sitting there fucking eating pizza, but he does not think he's done a single fucking thing wrong. He doesn't see what he did was wrong at all. He is the worst type of predator. And every time I see his face, I just want to smack him.
Well, what did you expect to happen here tonight, Jeff?
Didn't have any expectation.
No
Yes, you fucking did have expectations, you dirty old fucking man. I wouldn't normally say 44 is an old man, but compared to the 13-year-old. Yes, he's a fucking old. Yes, you had expectations. You wanted to be intimate. You wanted a hug. You were frustrated about the fact that she didn't want to touch you, and therefore, well, why did she let you drive 3 hours if she wasn't going to let you do anything? Yes, you had expectations.
Expectations whatsoever.
No.
So you drove 2.5 hours
Sure did.
from Boston.
The fact that he breathes out annoyed about the fact that he's being questioned by someone who could be her dad, who could be law enforcement, who could be anyone of authority. That sigh, again, is frustration, annoyance.
Who are you?
To come here
Are you her dad?
to meet a young girl.
Are you her
I
dad?
will get to that in a minute. Go ahead, have a bite.
I haven't done anything wrong.
A lot of these predators apparently don't know. Talking sexually explicit things or sending photos of your genitals. He didn't do that, but plenty of other fucking predators have done that. He did say about being intimate with her and about is she shaved and all this sort of stuff. So he has been sexually fucking explicit. And he showed up. That's one of the worst parts, is not just talking, but you showed up to do these things. But even just talking or sending pictures, sending your fucking nude photos or sending sexually explicit fucking text messages to someone underage is illegal. Fuck off. Again, thinks he's done nothing wrong because, I haven't done anything. I haven't fucked 13-year-olds, so you can't arrest me. I haven't done anything wrong. You showed up. Fuck off.
Coming to meet somebody?
Meeting a 13-year-old you do not know, that you will not have any relation to. No.
What's wrong? What is that against
Coming
the
to
law?
meet a young girl?
Yeah, is that against the law?
Yes!
It is after this chat.
How?
Did you bring some kind of a contract with you? Some sort of marriage contract?
The fact that he laughs about the contract, he thinks this is fucking funny. He thinks he's smarter than law enforcement or anybody else. He thinks he's smarter. Again, classic fucking narcissist. He can laugh and eat pizza, he's that fucking relaxed.
Let's see if any of this sounds familiar while you enjoy your pizza.
I don't agree with, there's been some stuff that's gone on with Chris Hansen, especially with the Darby Vanity case, which I'm considering covering that because I feel like everyone's kind of forgotten about everything that happened there, and I think it needs to be brought back up to light. But I will say, I love Chris Hansen's sarcasm. He has, a lot of good one-liners. It's just his delivery is, funny.
I should come see you on Saturday. Well, since your mom isn't home, it's the best time to do it.
That's a power and control move, to do it when a parent or anyone who could fucking turn around to the child and be like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good idea for you to go and hang out with a 44-year-old man.
You say, I can't go to jail. My life would be ruined.
Right.
At least some of the predators look ashamed when the chat is being read back out to them. He looks so nonchalant, yeah, so? Oh, he's just so disgusting.
Could be locked up for 20 years.
Yep.
So nonchalant, how?
And then you say, do you trim your blank?
Okay.
I just can't get over how he keeps laughing.
Now you know that this girl is 13, right?
Wasn't sure.
Wasn't sure. It says in this chat that she was 13. Also, you've admitted that you could get in trouble multiple fucking times. So much to the fact that you said that you would have to marry her before you could do anything so it would be legal. You knew she was underage. Fuck off.
She's told you. How old are you? You might as well just tell me, because I can find out like that.
Who are you? Can you tell me who you are first?
I will tell you that in a minute.
Because, now you're making me nervous.
Good, you should be fucking nervous. You're making me nervous. Well, yeah, no fucking shit. You're doing something that's illegal. Of course you should be fucking nervous. This is why I started with him, because, I hate him. I hate him so fucking much. I mean, I hate all predators, but for some reason I just hate him so much more because he thinks he's smarter than the police.
And
You're 44 years old. As a 44-year-old guy, I shouldn't be talking to a 13-year-old girl. What am I supposed to make of that?
That you're a dishonest, dirty person.
Sorry, I am paranoid.
He should be. He was doing something fucking wrong.
For meeting me? No, potentially having sex. You bring condoms with you tonight.
well, they plan on having sex.
This is something that quite a few predators do, is they say oh, well, I didn't bring condoms, so sure I'm going to have sex. If they bring condoms, it shows intent, I believe, that they were looking to actually have sex because they brought the protection. But just because you didn't bring protection does not mean you weren't necessarily going to have sex, right? There's quite a few predators in older TCAP episodes where they've said, oh, one of them said they were practicing to be a doctor or something, so they knew when to pull out. And another person said like, oh yeah, I'll just pull out, I'll be fine. No, even if you're of age, don't do that. Have protection. Use a condom. Use a condom if you don't know the person's sexual health anyway, because STDs. You can get pregnant from pre-cum. I've been pregnant from pre-cum. So please don't do that.
Do you have them in your car?
No,
I'm gonna find out, so you might as well tell me now.
I don't. Go ahead, check the car.
Oh, they will, don't worry.
You will never tell anyone about us having sex. Are you sure? Okay, I could be there Saturday afternoon.
A 13-year-old is always going to tell when they had sex. They're going to brag. 13-year-olds can't keep anything to their fucking selves. If they can, it's rare. And it probably means that there's been a lot of other shit that happened in their life. Most 13-year-olds can't keep fucking anything to themselves.
Explain it to me.
Just wanted to come hang out and...
Looks like here you wanted to come here and have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Okay, is that against the law?
Yes, that is against the fucking law.
To have sex with a 13-year-old girl when you're 44? Yes, it's against the law.
To meet a girl. That's all I've done.
I'm cleverer than all of you, so I'm clearly not in fucking trouble, is what he's thinking.
See how this looks.
Okay, but do you also see that I was pretty apprehensive about the whole sex thing?
But you turned up. You drove 3 hours and turned up. You weren't fucking apprehensive.
Well, wouldn't you be? Wouldn't anybody be if they were going to try to have sex with a 13-year-old girl?
To be honest with you, you're not going to believe me.
Why would we believe you?
But I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're like, law enforcement. But
you think I'm law enforcement?
Well, that's what it sounds like.
They all think Chris is law enforcement. It's so fucking funny. Although some of them do actually know who Chris is.
I was thinking about this on the way down.
Right. You had 2.5 hours to think about it.
And...
yeah, exactly. 2.5 hours. He could have turned around and left. Like, he did not have to show fucking up.
And I wasn't gonna, I'm not gonna risk it.
Do you know what he says he's not gonna risk it? Meaning, not that he doesn't want to do it, not that he shouldn't be doing it, not that he shouldn't do it because it would affect her and her life for the rest of her fucking life. The fact that it would risk it for him. Risk. Meaning he could go to prison. He could be risking something for himself.
That's what I said.
It's not normal for a 44-year-old guy to drive 2.5 hours to hang out with a 13-year-old.
Completely fucking agree. It's not normal. And if you ever consider this, go get help.
You've never done it. So tonight you just decided, okay, I'm going to drive 2.5 hours down I-9.
Well, yeah. Why not? As if it's just like a normal fucking Saturday night.
Can't find any older girls?
I can, but I had nothing else going on.
I can, but all of them know I'm a creep.
Clearly see that I'm very apprehensive.
That doesn't mean shit.
I said as long as you're under 16, age of consent, nobody can know about it. It sounds like here is you're grooming her.
Because that's exactly what it is. It is textbook grooming. If you don't know what grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust and emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit and abuse them. Children and young people who are groomed can be sexually abused, exploited or trafficked. Anyone can be a groomer, no matter their age, gender or race. Classic fucking groomer. If he wasn't going to do shit today, he was grooming her for when she becomes of age. That's why he keeps saying like no one can know about this till you become of age. That's exactly what he was doing.
Testing her to make sure it would be okay if you had sex with her, so no one would find out.
To be honest with you, like I said, when I was on the way down,
right,
I was thinking about the whole thing, and
but you showed up.
And even before I left,
you should have just stayed at home. Even could have used the plumber as an excuse of, oh, I can't turn up because of this, and just never spoken to her again. But continued on. He knew what he was doing. Don't ever think that he didn't.
Right. I was thinking, I'm not going to have sex with her unless it's legal.
This is what I mean. He thinks he's done nothing fucking wrong. Because he thinks that unless you have sex with the underage person, it's not illegal. That's why he keeps hounding on about this point of, well, I was apprehensive. I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't going to do anything unless it was legal.
So you talk about a plan to make it legal. To marry her. Right?
The fuck?
Yeah, not in 2 seconds. I mean, like... So if you liked her, like, next week or the week after, you'd marry a 13-year-old girl?
Not next week.
But when she was like 15, 16, got their parents' permission, you'd groomed them. Because that has happened. There's a documentary, I can't remember the fucking name of it. There is a documentary where a child was abused by a neighbour. I think this was in like the 80s or something. Mother and father. They ended up being manipulated by him and they end up swinging with him. And because of that, they end up trusting him again with their daughter, and he sexually exploited her. They were manipulated by him to let him near her again.
No. So after just a few days worth of chatting...
Literally a few days. This is just a few days of chatting. What would he have done in months? Which, by the way, some of the T-Cat predators, it is over months of chatting.
You decide you love her?
No.
You want to have sex with her?
I don't know.
You want to marry her? What do you mean you don't know? She's 13.
Exactly. She's 13. You should know. You should never be doing any of that fucking stuff.
I don't know. I was just throwing things out, like, you know, just in case. Maybe I did like her. Maybe it was, you know...
So then you'd marry a 13-year-old girl, because she's really cool and you could have sex.
Oh, I hate his response to this.
After a while, if it worked out, yeah.
After a while.
Even Chris was like, what the fuck?
You're cool with all this. You just think this is just fine.
Yes, he does. He does. He thinks he hasn't done anything wrong.
What else am I supposed to think, Jeff?
Do I seem like a dishonest, dirty person?
Me and everyone in the fucking comments, literally 2,200 people, considering 61 million people have watched this. Do I seem like a dishonest, dirty person? Yes. Yes, you fucking do. I seem like a disgusting 44-year-old man that's preying on a 13-year-old.
I mean, do I seem like it?
This chat seems like it.
Chat is chat.
Chat is still illegal.
Chat is chat, but showing up is showing up.
After a 3-hour fucking drive, too.
And guess what, Jeff? You showed up at a home where you knew a 13-year-old girl would be alone after a sexually charged conversation online. You come in, oh, I want to hug you. You do it with everybody.
Yeah, I do it when I meet somebody for the first time.
Okay, but this somebody is not an adult, Jeff. She's 13.
Exactly. 13 is not a fucking... They talk as if, oh, well, this person's an adult and they agreed. They asked me to come over. No, then they're a child.
Please tell me who you are.
I'll tell you.
I'm trying to be nice here.
No one gives a shit if you're trying to be nice. You weren't trying to be nice when you were trying to fuck a 13-year-old.
Okay. So am I. But you're not answering all my questions.
I will. Can you just tell me who you are?
I'm Chris Hansen. And this is an investigation. So if there's anything else you want people to know, anything you want to say, now would be a good time to say it.
I can't believe this happened.
Now everyone's going to know you're a piece of fucking filth. And one of the comments said that apparently his life was ruined. Ruined by this. With him constantly being humiliated and embarrassed, it got so bad to the point where he actually tried to legally change his name. Fortunately, it was denied, which made his life worse, but someone who was so confident and carefree about being a pedophile, I don't feel a smidge of sympathy for the arse clown. I also heard that he allegedly had to sell his apartment and move back with his parents, but I'm not sure if that's true. In the name change request form that he filled, he said that he was remorseful of the incident. Well, I fucking doubt. This man clearly only felt bad because he got caught, not because he could have potentially ruined a 13-year-old girl's life.
Did you bring any sort of a marriage contract?
No.
So what was all that talk about?
I don't want to talk anymore.
Okay. You can leave.
Can you shut it off?
I cannot shut it off now.
Okay, fuck off and go get arrested.
I mean, what is this?
It's an investigation for a television program where we investigate grown people who go online and try to create inappropriate, illegal relationships with underage children.
So the cops here?
I love how Chris never answers that. It's so obvious the cops are there.
We'll see.
Sokol isn't getting seconds.
Come on out. Let's go.
Cops grab him. During the search, cops find a sex enhancement pill, the kind where you call a doctor if it's still working after 4 hours.
Viagra.
He waives his right to remain silent, and the arrogance he displayed during my confrontation comes out in the police interrogation.
Isn't that all speculation, though?
Again, so arrogant about the fact that, oh, it's just speculation. It's not. Especially when you show up after almost a 3-hour fucking drive. It's not speculation. You took action. And even if you didn't, you still shouldn't be speaking like that to a minor.
I mean, it's what's the speculation? I'm looking at this thing. It's like
you're speculating that I was going to have sex with her tonight.
Because that's what you said.
But why are you talking to a fucking 13-year-old about sex at all? Again, he doesn't feel like he did anything wrong.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that? Well, no. Tell me what you said.
Well, we talked about having sex, but that doesn't mean...
Isn't that strange?
That doesn't mean I was going to. Tonight.
Tonight, as if, like, that's what I'm saying. The grooming of, even if he wasn't going to do it tonight, he was going to groom this girl so that when she became of age and legal, even if it was just 16 in whichever state she was in, that's when he would...
What's the deal with the marriage certificate? What was that whole conversation? Or a marriage agreement or a contract you talked about?
Well, I know I was joking at one time when I said, is it...
I was joking. God, he's such scum.
But you're talking about a 12-year-old girl, right? And it's kind of...
Yeah, okay.
I think you could probably even
14,
understand.
But yeah, she said she was 14.
That doesn't make it any fucking better. 12, 13, 14. Still a minor. Still underage. Still illegal. Still 30 years fucking younger than you.
But okay.
She was 14?
I know. It's young.
We're talking like 12 years old. That's like 6th, 7th grade. You know what I mean? That's a young human being.
I keep saying 12.
Oh, I know it's young. It's not young, it's a minor. As if normalising it.
Well, you want me to use your term and say 14?
I mean, I know that's both young, but it's a little bit, different.
How would it make it okay if you're going to do things with her and she's 13 and you ultimately had relations with her, intercourse, how does it make it legal?
It wouldn't unless her mom consented to marriage.
Why would a mother consent to someone having sex with their child who's 30 years older than them when they're not even of legal age? What mother would do that? You have to be really, really, really fucked up to do that. And the way he talks about it, as if it's just some normal thing that people do. Ugh.
It's the only way it would be legal.
So you're gonna marry a 13-year-old girl with her mother's permission?
Maybe when she's 16.
And that, again, he's just admitting to the fact, groom her so that when she was 16, by that time he could have tried to manipulate the parents and then have groomed this young girl to marry him so that he could exploit her.
I would do that. Why is that, like, so hard to believe?
It's not hard to believe. It's still disgusting. It's still predatory. You're still a pedophile.
44. I mean, seriously, it's a major league problem.
According to the law, it is.
No, according to all of civilization, it is. The normalization language he uses, just again, it's just so... He thinks he's done nothing wrong. Nothing. Oh, he just makes me so fucking angry.
But according to what, you, it's not?
In my head.
In your head, you're fucked up. You're a pedophile. You're fucked up. Go get help. You deserve a lot worse than help. But if you think that this is normal, if you think that in your head that being attracted to someone underage is normal, go get fucking help.
In your head,
knowing what I was there for, knowing that I was not dangerous, that I was not a threat to her.
You are dangerous. You're a predator. Just because you're saying, like, oh, I was apprehensive and I wasn't going to... You are dangerous. The danger to this child wasn't just you were in the room. It was the fact that he was going to change this young girl's life for the rest of her life by grooming her and having sex with her. Again, it's just the victim mentality of, I didn't do anything wrong. Don't even consider for a second the effect this would have on a child.
The detective then asks Sokol what he would think if he had a daughter and she was hanging out with a 44-year-old guy.
You're cool with that?
Well, obviously, at first...
Obviously, you would think they're a piece of scum and you'd want to break that over their head. Obviously.
At first, no.
At first?
Yeah, when they first walk in, it's not going to be cool. But if it was somebody like me, I don't think there's a threat.
Sokol posts $250,000 bail.
So the bails are set very differently. It's dependent on the chat, what they've done, their attitude, like whether they thought they did something wrong. The reason I think his was so high, I don't know this for a fact, but the reason I think $250,000, 250,000, which bail, like you have to post 10% of that, 25,000. The reason that was so fucking high is because he's a risk. He's a risk to other children because he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. Likely a flight risk as well.
Counts: attempted second-degree sexual assault, attempted risk of injury to a minor, and enticing a minor by computer. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges and will stand trial.
You guilty of anything, man?
After a court hearing, he dodged our cameras and ran back inside the courthouse. We saw him sneak out the back door and duck into this.
Not so fucking arrogant now, is he? Okay, so some of the comments. Dude has like zero remorse. If this wasn't a sting operation, and I completely agree with this, a real adolescent would have been in unimaginable danger. That's what fucking frustrates me, is that he keeps saying, well, if it was someone like me, I know they wouldn't be in danger. You are a danger. Just because you think you're not, you are. You're going after a child for sex. You're a danger. The way Chris says, go ahead, have a bite, has the perfect amount of annoyance and acceptance. This dude is despicable. There's no professional treatment for despicable. However, a long prison sentence is a good start in general population. So, let's see what he got. He had many creepy and sexual conversations with her. This included encouraging her to masturbate. Oh god, we didn't fucking see that. Asking her if she trims her pubic hair, telling her that he will want to be intimate with her when they meet, and talks of drawing up a fraudulent marriage contract in order to trick her into believing it would be legal for him to have sex with her. In the chat log, Jeff expresses extreme interest in penises and the correlation of penis size to his evaluation of manhood. At one point, Bailey is trying to discuss her love of dance with Jeff, but he states that the male ballet dancers probably do not have penises. What? As though to imply that they are not actually men, thus managing to demean. Oh, fucking hell. Of course he's a misogynistic piece of shit. Thus managing to demean both women and the art of ballet with a penis reference that no one was asking for. Later in the chat, Bailey is opening up to Jeff about issues she is having with fitting into her peer group at school. Jeff veers the conversation. What a surprise. Again, this is a clear control, because if it's something about her, he steers it or demeans it. Like, that's a clear control tactic. Jeff veers the conversation into one about penis size and implies that men with relatively small penises are not actually real men. Or does that mean that he's not a real man because he said that he doesn't have a big one? With that logic. He then immediately, awkwardly and very bizarrely confides in her that he has a small but sexually efficient penis. Sokol justified his conversation with a teenage girl by saying the sex is part of life and shouldn't be viewed negatively. The decoy, according to Sokol, appeared smart and mature. As the investigator was looking through Sokol's phone, he found that he and the decoy talked about the marriage contract the day they were supposed to meet. The investigator became even more outraged at this point and demanded Sokol to tell the truth. As part of his arrogant demeanour, Sokol also stated that he would take a lie detector test and show to the court they had no intention of having sex with the girl. The detective mentioned how Sokol appeared proud when he spoke about the marriage contract, wanting to have the mother's consent in order to have sex with the child without being sent to prison. Sokol claimed he had learned his lesson. Sokol then questioned why he had been arrested if the girl had not been sexually assaulted by him. This is what I'm saying. The investigator clarified that they wouldn't allow him to hurt the decoy. Sokol then placed the blame on society, claiming that everyone believes that males are pigs who only care about having sex. If you didn't want that to be the case, why did you consistently steer the conversation towards your dick? Way to change that. Sokol claimed that he was scared shitless. Good. Okay, so, legal battles. Sokol was originally charged with 3 felonies. Sokol declared that his friends and family had continued to support him. He said he had volunteered at the fire station and an aquarium. Oh, an aquarium where kids hang out. He added that he played tennis and performed martial arts. Tennis could be like, there's kids around. Martial arts, there's kids around. Do you know what I mean? Just putting himself in situations where he's able to prey on more children. He claims to the judge that he was trying to lighten the situation by making a joke when he was being arrogant with Hansen in order to alleviate his stress. No, you weren't. Sokol said that being exposed on national television was stressful and embarrassing. Good! You're a piece of shit! And everyone should fucking know it. Sokol's attorney, Norman Paytis, apparently he changed, I'm not sure if it's going to say in here, but I know that apparently he changed attorneys multiple times because he wasn't happy with the plea bargains of having to plead guilty. He was trying to plead not guilty constantly because, again, he didn't think he did anything wrong. And eventually, after like 3 or 4 lawyers, he eventually agreed to one of them. Offence for the state to say that his client had been arranging a rendezvous to sexually assault a minor for days. He continued by asserting that Sokol had a minimal risk of reoffending. I fucking doubt that. Polymorphograph, I don't know what that means. And no sexual desire for kids. No sexual desire, then why did he say he wanted to be intimate with a 13-year-old? After enrolling at UMass Amherst, he graduated with a degree in sports management, but he was still unhappy because he had not discovered true love. Yeah, me too, but like, I never got to go to college, I don't have a partner, but I'm not going after fucking minors. Like, I hate these excuses. Paces claims that Sokol had minor psychiatric problems such as obsessive compulsive disorder and learning disabilities, but that doesn't make you a fucking pedophile. He foolishly stated that Sokol broke the law by engaging in contact that wouldn't have been a crime a century ago. That doesn't fucking matter. Sokol attributed his decision to go to the Sting House to having paid him lots of attention and having loneliness as well. Stop blaming it on shit like this. Just because you're lonely does not make you a fucking pedophile. Just because you want attention does not mean you go out and get it from minors. I'm so sick of this excuse. The judge was unimpressed, saying that Sokol would have harmed a real child if one had been present. Yeah, he would have. So, in March 2017, the judge sentenced Sokol to 7 years in prison, suspended after serving 2.5 years. That is not enough fucking time. 10 years of probation for a downgraded charge of attempted second-degree sexual assault charge. For the charge of attempted risk of injury to a minor, Sokol was sentenced to an additional 2.5 years to be served concurrently, so 5 years in total. And for the enticing a minor in obscene performance charge, Sokol was sentenced to another concurrent sentence of 2.5 years, so 7.5 years. Judge Devlin also required Sokol to register as a sex offender for 10 years and pay a $151 fine. Really? Just $151? He should be a sex offender for life, not just 10 years. On November 2017, Sokol disobeyed a direct order from a prison guard and was punished with loss of creation for 15 days. I don't know what that means. Sokol tried to change his name legally to Sonny Derek Porter, but his request was eventually denied. Sokol was denied parole in 2018 and had to wait until June 2019 to be released from prison. He has to be on probation through 2024 and remain registered as a sex offender until 2029. Sokol has kept a low profile since his release from prison, with the last publicly available photograph of him in early 2021. He's said to have sold his apartment and moved back with his affluent parents. So, hopefully his life is fucking ruined. I'm surprised he only has to be registered as a sex offender for 10 years. And he's only on probation until the end of 2024. So that's at the end of next year. Well, at least everyone fucking knows who he is. This video will hopefully make people even more aware of who the fuck he is. If you liked this full breakdown and this reaction, the Hansen vs Predator series, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you feel like it. If you guys want more of these, just give this a bunch of likes, and maybe just these updates as well can be interesting. So let me know if you guys would like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!